perspective I give here is the clients we talk to on the buy side, they are really struggling with MiFID II compliance as a whole. Research unbundling is obviously the priority. I would say that the emphasis they're giving is on compliance to avoid censure by the regulators. And the reality is, whilst they're unprepared even just for that, the true test of MiFID II from an unbundling perspective will be about the ability to drive alpha and competitive advantage and brand strength in the marketplace. And that requires a completely different approach to data asset strategies. How does one think about the assets that they buy, be it alternative research, alternative data? How do they compare that with internal research? I don't think that the asset management community, outside of the very elite, have even started to think about that. So it's heavily skewed to compliance. They're struggling with compliance only. The real emphasis should be around data asset strategies and driving alpha, and they're nowhere near that. So I saw the Smart Karma platform over a year ago. For me, it's a fundamental change in how you price research. Ultimately, what's happening with MiFID II from an unbundling perspective, there are three things that are happening. You have information decay around research ideas. So how do you actually price research? Because it decays as a function of breadth of distribution and time. So it's price discovery. The second thing is there is a quality assessment need. And third, with fintech, you can have an emergence of new alternative vendors with data and research. So you have a price discovery, quality assessment, and vendor selection process ongoing all the time. Platforms like Smart Karma are extremely dynamic and address that. I think some of the other platforms are much more price per report driven. I don't think that they engage with the true realities of what's going to happen in the MiFID II unbundling world. This is an interesting one because there's been a number of boutiques which have emerged in the past few years, much ahead of implementation of MiFID II, and they've done pretty well, but I think it's fair to say that the performance has been mixed at best. I think what you're going to see on the back of what I call swarm intelligence, be it platforms like Estimize, Minkapu in Japan, which is where you can have hundreds of thousands of independent contributors to analyst forecasts for listed equities, that is emerging. For example, Minkapu in Japan has got 380,000 independent contributors to research ideas, analyst forecasts and valuations for listed equities. So I think that you are going to see a platform such as that, which will give the emergence of new star analysts who don't work for a major investment bank and don't come from an Ivy League institution. That democratizes their access. I think actually all of this is going to take time to unfold, but you might find that some of the very small new individuals rather than boutiques flourished in the early days in some of the frontier markets or emerging markets.